This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. So in the last class, we talked about how to handle a drop-down list. Sorry, how to handle web table. So that is the scenario we have seen. Okay. Let's talk about what is XPath. The another new concept is what is XPath. See, so far we find out the elements using either ID, name, or maybe link text or partial link text or class name or anything. We used those locators for finding the elements. But in the real-time point of view, most of the guys, very frequently people are using XPath. So now the question is, what is XPath? Now the question is, what is XPath? In simple term, XPath is providing some address to specify the
Sir,
yeah, hello.
sorry to interrupt you. Actually, we already discussed about XPath, right?
Oh,
This
The
conference will
data
now
from
be
Excel.
recorded.
sorry.
Yeah. How to read the data from Excel sheet. That's
Okay.
we're gonna discuss today.
How to read and write XPath. Sorry, how to read and write to the from the Excel. How to read the data from the Excel sheet. Yeah, please keep it in mute. How to read and
Sorry, sir. Today we are gonna discuss can you read the data from Excel sheet? Can we write the code or not? Means we need to discuss about the code today. Even this also over yesterday. Last session was how to read and write.
how to read in the what is the last session? Could you repeat, please?
How to read and write the data in Excel sheet. That was our last session. And today you said that how to write the code. Can you read the data from Excel sheet or not? Like that. That kind of a topic you said.
The last class I explained about how to read data from the Excel.
Read and write from Excel. Yeah. I mean,
Just a second, hold on. Okay, that log4j is done.
yeah.
Only I explained about how to read the data.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we need to go with how to write the data to the Excel sheet.
Yeah.
So let me create another new class called Excel underscore write. Excel underscore write. Okay. So in the Excel read, the first step is we need to create an object for the file. And then we need to create an object for the file input string to read the data. And then especially for Excel point of view, that file the file is treated as a workbook. So workbook WB is equal to new access of workbook, because we are working with Excel sheet with XLSX format. So that's why we created this statement. And in the workbook, there are different sheets are there. On which sheet you wanted to work. So that's why I'm using a method called get sheet at. You can provide the index number or the sheet name also. You can do anything. So now here I'm using index value. Okay. So that's why sheet sh is equal to wb get sheet 0. Right. So up to this code is common while writing the data to the Excel also. So what I'll do, I'm just pasting here. So file input stream. So right now, when I'm writing this statement, it is giving information to us is, okay, we may get the exception. So I'm not interested to handle the exception now. So that's why I'm throwing it. So new access of workbook. Okay. So here also I'm throwing the exception. Right. So here our intention is we don't want to find any rows or columns and all. So in the last class, we have seen how to read the data and how to write the data. Okay. If you want, you can use the same code. So number of rows and number of columns. Okay. Right. So I'll use the same code. Okay. So let me run the code. Run as Java application. Okay. Number of rows and number of columns. Okay. Now what I need to do is writing their data. Writing data to Excel. Writing data to Excel. Right. See, cell means where it is present under row. Under row, each and everything is treated as cell. Under row, each and every box is treated as a cell. So how to write it in the Excel? It's simple. So sh dot first get row. Let's consider I am writing in the header column. Get row. Under this row, we need to set the value. Under this row, set row number. No, sorry. Hmm. Set height, okay. Set row style, okay. Get sheet, okay. Set cell. What is the method? Get cell, okay. Under row number, set, what happened, sh dot get row 0 dot create cell. Let's say here I am providing 2, and then set cell value, and then here I am writing like this result. So I am trying to write the cell value is result, where under row number. Under row number, and the third cell value is result, because index value starts from 0. In the first cell or first column, it is showing as username, and the second column is password, and the third one we are writing as a result. Okay, right. Now this is the value you are trying to set in the Excel. Okay, so let me check whether it is writing the data. Okay, now see here, when you want to read the data from the file, we are using file input stream. Now here what we are doing, we are writing. So what you need to do is, you need to create an object for the file output stream. Create object for file output stream. So create an object for file output stream. FIS equal to new file output stream. So on which file you are trying to write? On which file you are trying to write? This workbook. Okay. On which file you are trying to write? On this workbook. So you should pass this object. Okay. As per the syntax, file output stream. Okay. So here FIS. The constructor file output stream is undefined. So use FIS to string. Okay. Right. On which output stream? So here you need to provide the path. So this one, on which file. So that's why we need to provide this file reference. Okay. Then WB. On the same Excel sheet, you need to write WB dot. There is a method called write, and then output string. So you need to get this. Okay. On the Excel sheet, you wanted to write. So Excel sheet means WB, and then there is a method called write. On this file, you wanted to write. Okay. So once writing is done, whatever the file it is open for writing purpose, the same file you need to close it. Okay, the same file you need to close it. So for that, what you need to do is WB dot close, because your operation is done, and finally after writing it, I need to close the Excel sheet, and I need to I need to use this close operation also on the file output string. Okay, so what you can do is first, or if you want, first you can write this statement FOS dot close, and then workbook also you closed it. Okay, right. So let us run the script. Right click, run as Java application. So what you can do is go to your workspace, Selenium Kusuma. So let us check whether a result is added in the Excel sheet or not. Now see, result is added. So similarly, if you want add any data, see, when you're reading the data, at that time, if file is open, not a problem. But at the time of writing the data, the file should be always closed. Otherwise, you will get some kind of exception. Let's say you are trying to read the data, or you are trying to add the data, where let's say I'm trying to add a row to create cell number 1. Uh, Under that, let's say I'm trying to add under row number 2, cell number 10. Let's say QTP. It's row number 11. Create one, and then use Selenium. Run as Java application. Line number 37. Null pointer exception. Set cell value, create cell. Okay. Cell value. row number. Run as Java application. Why are you getting null pointer exception? The line number 37. Okay, I think without creating a row, how will you create cell? Because there is no row called 11th row. So that's why you are getting the null pointer exception. Okay, so let us check. Let me give, and so that's why you are getting null pointer exception. Get row 11. Let me write something like 9th. Run as Java application. Okay, now see, it is added the QTP Selenium. The QTP and Selenium. Okay. So this is the way you need to write the data to the Excel. Okay. Suppose I never tried sh dot create row. Let's say I'm writing 12th. I'm first creating the row, and then inside that I'm trying to create the cell, and then in that I'm trying to set the value. Right. Now see here. We'll do one thing. 0. User 11. This is parcel. Now see, the file is already open. If you want to read or if you want to write the data which when it is opened, now see, file not found exception, because the file is already open. Okay, right click, run as Java application. Now go and check. Now see, username and password. Okay, so this is the way you need to write the data. So in the previous, why it is giving exception, null pointer exception? There you are giving get row. If there is no row, how will you create the Excel? That means how will you create the cell? There is no such kind of row. Without existing row, how will you create the cell? So that's why you are getting null pointer exception. Now here in this case, what I am doing? I am trying to add the data in the new row in the new column. So to create the row, we need to use create row. We need to use create row. Okay. So here first we are creating a row and then we are creating a cell. And once cell is created, I am trying to set the value. Okay, set cell value. Okay. So this is the way you need to write the data to the Excel sheet. Okay. Any doubts? No.
No, sir.
Okay. Random selection, specified elements, all these things in the lab explained. Right. So I did not talk about, so properties also done, data file is also done, and a logger is also explained. Okay. So now capturing screenshot also done, alert system. Okay. Next is mm, I'll do one thing. In Java point of view, just let me check. So constructor concept is done. Loops and random numbers, string comparison. So what I'll do is we'll talk about actions concept. Actions. So why to use actions? See, to perform mouse and keyboard related operations, we are going to use actions concept. To perform mouse and keyboard related operations, we will use actions. We'll use actions. Right. Okay, so how to use these actions to work on mouse and keyboard related operations? The WebDriver guys, they provided one class called actions. They provided one class called actions. New actions, and inside that you should pass driver is the reference variable. We should pass driver is the reference variable. So first we need to create an object for the actions class using reference variable called driver. Okay, right. And in the actions there are so many methods are there. Depends upon the situation we need to use. How will you write act dot? There are some methods, action methods, action methods, and then finally to perform that action there is a method called perform. See, without using this perform method, action will not complete. Action will not complete. So finally, to perform that action, we have to use perform, or some of the guys they're writing as build dot perform. Build dot perform. See, the action will complete after using perform only. Without that, your action will not complete. So some of the guys directly they are using perform, or directly they are using build dot perform. Okay, right. Okay, so let's talk about how to do mouse over operation. Mouse over in the sense moving your cursor to the particular element. So that is the meaning of that. So that is the meaning of that. Let's say talk about moving the element, moving the element to the certain, moving your cursor to the specified element. American Golf. Right. Let's say I want to perform an action on the, let's say this drivers. Okay, drivers link. See, actually, directly if you go and click on this golf club, it will take you to the golf club page internally. But what is my intention? I want to click on this drivers link. So when this drivers link will appear, so now see, if I take my mouse to this element, again submenu will appear like this. So once the submenu is appeared, then we can perform the action on the driver's link. Okay. So how to perform this golf club link? How to perform this mouse over operation on the golf club? Right. New class. Mouse over. Right. Open Chrome browser, maximize the browser, open the application and thread.slip. So this is a common. Right. Control A, Control A, thread.slip, throw declaration, close the application. Close application. Driver dot close. Right. So what is the URL? American EU. Right. So let me find out the element of golf clubs. Right click, inspect. So now what I'll do is I'll try to find out the XPath of this element. Copy XPath. Identifying golf club element. Driver dot find element by dot XPath. Right. Okay. Instead of putting double quotes, you can put single quote like this. So this is web element. So web element, let's say I'm giving name as golf link, golf underscore link. Right. So when I want to do mouse over operation, so first perform, sorry, create an object for actions class. Create an object for actions class. So first actions act is equal to driver. Import actions. Create an object for actions class. And then act dot action method. See, to perform the mouse over operation, there is a method called move to element. Move to element. Move by offset is there, move to element is there, move to element with some distance. So out of these three, I'm going to use the middle one, move to element. So when I use this method, what it will do is it will take your mouse to the middle of the element. Move to element, on which element you wanted to move. So under to this golf club. Okay. So I need to move. And finally, I need to use perform. So you are taking your mouse to the middle of element. Okay. But to perform that action at the last, I need to use perform. Right click, run as Java application. Now see, it is appeared. So in that, I need to click on the driver's link. Driver dot find element by dot link text. It's a drivers. And then dot click. So once mouse over is happened, inside that there is a driver link. I'm trying to click on it. So what I'll do, just use some care. After performing mouse over, just use some 1.5 second as a thread dot sleep. Now see, it clicked on drivers. So if you want to click on drivers link, first of all, that submenu has to be appeared. Then only I can perform the actions. So if you want to see that submenu, you have to use actions console. So some different kind of scenarios are there. So let us continue about this actions class tomorrow. Why you only you tip only you? I think how many people are joined today?